Over the last month of last year and first month of this year, Gwyn and I were a bit cashed up with the sale of the Africa Land Cruiser. We decided to invest it in the channel and content, and we did it by building a new editing room, buying a new camera, and in addition to that, I've got my new workshop. It's always nice to be able to go to one's camera store and take delivery of a new camera. And I have yet to make a video about doing that because never before has it been quite as exciting and such a game changer as this particular one. So this is in effect the first camera I have ever owned that is not only broadcast compatible, but it is compatible with the highest possible standards of videography. Netflix approves this camera for series production. And that, to me, is a major milestone. I have, for those interested in videography and photography, created a separate video illustrating my history of cameras and video cameras. And then there's my new workshop, in which two big projects will be built in 2021.
It's exciting.
My new four-wheel drive tourer, and of course my kit aircraft. I had some chaps help me with the cladding and roof heat insulation, but the rest, up to me. And building my new workshop. 600 width bench, shelf, running all the way along here. And here, a space for a workshop bench trolley. The idea is that you have a bench on casters that you can move around and move into the middle of the workshop and then work on something all around it. And I know for the aircraft there's going to be quite a bit of work on the fiberglass, and it's going to really help if I can mount it on a workbench and then move around it. Hello. What's going on now?
I'm making pavlova.
Why?
For Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
It's Christmas Eve, and we've got Tef and Nick and Kate and Cam and Martin coming for dinner tonight, and then the rest of the crew tomorrow. And so the big cook-up has started.
Do you enjoy this?
I love it. I really do.
I can tell.
It's my favorite time to cook. Even when I didn't cook, I always used to cook at Christmas time.
This workshop will be 100% solar powered. Everything in this workshop. And so I'm going to build up solar power station, and I'm going to do it from, I was going to say spare parts, but they're not really spare parts. It's other equipment that I own that's been lying around for a while, and some of it is actually quite new, and some of it is actually quite old, and I'm going to build my solar system from that. Battery's going to go down there, and very important is when I build the frame, I must get the angle right. So I need to go onto the internet and find the optimum solar angle for this location. The main components are a 2000 watt inverter. I don't even know why I've still got it. It was something to do with the Dream Tourer build, and they sent us a 3 kilowatt which we fitted. I don't remember how but anyway, it's never been used. This is the spare battery. This was an additional battery. This is a part of a sponsorship thing. They gave me a whole lot of batteries for the build, and I actually had one surplus because we were going to put in 200 amp hour in the camper, and we ended up putting 300 amp hour in there. And in retrospect, actually 200 would have been ample. Anyway, I have that spare, so that's going to be the battery. When working out what we would put on the Dream Tourer, I was hoping to be able to fit 4 120 overkill, yes, watt panels on the roof. but when we fitted them, they didn't. There was such a tight squeeze. We realised that in fact 3 would be ample and 3 would be far easier to fit. So I had a spare 120 watt panel, and then Harry from Fire to Fork YouTube channel, go and check it out. He said to me, "Oh, I've got a," because he was sponsored by Red Arc, and they gave him a panel, and they gave him a 150 watt panel. He says, "It doesn't quite fit. I believe you've got a spare 120." So we fit it. So that's absolutely perfect. So now I've got this brand new Red Arc 150, and that will go on. That'll be the main panel. And I've got 2 others. They're 60 watt panels. They are from a 80 watts. They are from a set that was given to me in 2015 in South Africa. Nearly really found a home for them since then. Now I have. In fact, I reckon that and I have this. This is pallet timber that I actually used for the building of the benches in there. I have spare. I'm going to build a frame, which is 103 Fahrenheit. Humidity is not too bad, so, and I put in this insulation in the ceiling because otherwise it would be so hot in here, it would be unbearable. But it's actually no hotter in here than it is outside. This stuff is remarkable. So now with the Land Cruiser in the workshop, it is a bit cramped, but not one to complain. Should we go outside again? I think I'd prefer to be in the house actually. And this, of course, again, is my studio. I've got an area here where I can shoot lenses. You've just seen the images that I've filmed here with this new camera. I've got an area there which is clear for other stuff. And this is a workshop area. I can work on my cameras and lenses and things, and they're stored here. And of course here is my edit suite. How do you like that? I've built it. It's pretty rudimentary, and nothing flash about it. And that will eventually go up there on the roof, facing north. And that is an angle of 35 degrees. And this is the workshop. This is a bit temporary at this stage. I've got to do quite a bit of work to try and get this stuff that's stored in here organized. But my workbench is working really, really well. In fact, I can honestly say I've never had a workshop quite this fantastic. I love it. And as a practical place to work already, it's working well. These are magnetic strips for holding tools. I prefer them to hangers and holders. And I've put up some pictures. Do you want me to show you the pictures? This here is significant in that it's a poster that this is my photograph, and I published it in about 96 or so. That was their latest cruiser at the time. That was the 80 series. It was a 4.5 petrol, and we took to Namibia, and I published this poster for them, and this was in South African Toyota dealers all over the country for about a year. And this one here is when in South Africa, after apartheid ended in 1994, it was an amazing place to live, to see this transition actually change in front of our eyes. And South Africa became the flavor of the month, flavor of the year really, around the world. And the Red Arrows, the Royal Air Force aerobatic team, flew to South Africa and did a display in South Africa. And I went to 2 of the 3 displays at an Air Force base called Waterkloof, not far from Pretoria. And that photograph was taken by the late, great Herman Potgieter. He was an aviation photographer of note, and that is one of his finest shots. So I thought, yeah, let's finish off my space with a few aeroplane pictures as well. But what I'm going to be doing in a video very, very soon is I'm going to explain the idea of the aircraft and actually reveal what the aircraft is. The idea behind the aircraft is that I will be able to use it like I do my four-wheel drive tourer to tour Australia. It's a long distance touring aircraft, but it's more than just that. It, like my four-wheel drive, really has to do, it's one machine that has to do a lot of jobs well, and this particular aircraft is unique. And of course I'm going to be building it myself from a kit in here, but I can't do that until I sell my Land Cruiser. So the Land Cruiser is for sale now. The details are below in the description, and both the camper and the cruiser must be sold, because that money is being invested. I can then order the aircraft, and the moment I've done that, I'll present that video to you. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe and click the notifications bell so you don't miss our weekly videos.